Once upon a time, on a quiet little farm, a mother duck sat on her nest. One by one, the eggs began to hatch. "Quack, quack," said the fluffy yellow ducklings. But one egg was much bigger than the others. When the last egg popped open, out came a big gray duckling. Didn't look like the others at all. "You're not cute like us," one said. "You're big and weird," another whispered. The gray duckling felt sad. He didn't understand why he looked any different. And wherever he went, the other animals laughed at him. The chickens clucked, the cats sneered, the ducks ran away. "Go away, ugly duckling," they said. So the poor duckling ran off, looking for somewhere he would belong. You ever feel like you were born with something rotten inside you? And if people get close enough, they're going to find out. Growing up, I was always afraid of being found out. I don't know what I was hiding. Just my whole self, I guess. I am a man not only by biology and my anatomy, but by divine assignment, grace, and functionality. I am a man given the capacity to be a father, to be just like God, the source and sustainer. I am a man, and being a leader is my nature, though power given to me is the ultimate test of my character. I am a man appointed to be the foundation for my family. Setting an example for the entire community, I am a man grateful for the favor of God, thanking him out loud even when it seems quite odd. Yes, I am a man placed upon the earth to subdue and have dominion before returning to dirt. Catholics today believe that at every Mass, bread and wine is turned into the body and blood of Jesus. The body, blood, soul, and divinity, even though we can't fully understand how it happens. Transubstantiation is a scholastic term that attempts to explain how the bread and wine can become the body and blood of Jesus without losing their exterior appearance. In order to understand what all this means, we must first understand the concepts of accidents and substance. Accidents are the exterior physical parts or qualities of something, like the fingers, the hair, the feet of a person. Substance is the deep, invisible quality of something, the human being. Think of the life of a human person. Our accidents are in constant flow. We all look way different than when we were born. But what remains unchanged is who we are at our core. A distinct human being. In other words, our accidents change, but our substance remains the same.
Clinical notes. Date of examination, September 30th, 2024. Here to discuss hormone therapy. She has never taken hormone therapy in the past. Started social transitioning a few years ago. Recalls feeling disconnected from men and boys in childhood. Friends in middle school were mostly girls. Recalls that puberty was late and patient. Repressed a lot of feelings around gender and sexuality. Expects body changes, breast growth, fat redistribution, skin softening, decreased body hair growth. Needs these changes to feel, quote, at home with my body, end quote, and for relief of gender dysphoria. Identifies now as a woman. Has had support from immediate family, has transgender friends, which have been helpful in graduate school, which has also been supportive. Currently working with a therapist. Negative for chills, fever, fatigue, and weight loss. Negative for blurred vision, double vision, and pain. Negative for back pain and neck pain. Negative for depression. The patient is not nervous or anxious and does not have insomnia. Diagnosis for this visit, gender dysphoria. Patient is a good candidate for hormone therapy.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take up arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing end them. To die. To sleep. To sleep, perchance to dream. There's the rub. To grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, that undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the mind and makes us rather bear the ills we face than fly to others that we know not of. You ever hear that old chestnut about the story of Icarus? And how most people neglect the part of the story where Icarus also had to avoid flying too low, lest the spray of the sea soak his feathers and cause him to fall and drown. You ever think about how different the world would be if the saying was to not fly too close to the sea? A warning against spreading your wings fully and truly soaring. You ever think about how Icarus died because he was happy? As my friend Julian puts it, only half-winkingly, God blessed me by making me transsexual for the same reason he gave us wheat but not bread, and fruit but not wine, so that man might act, so that man might share in the act of creation. So the duckling ran off, looking for somewhere he would belong. As autumn approached, he came across a lake where he saw a group of beautiful, graceful swans swimming in the water. Their wings were shining like silver. Enchanted by their beauty, he moved closer, but he stopped. He remembered how the others had treated him. He was afraid that the swans would laugh at him too. But to his surprise, the swans turned and smiled. "Hello there, little friend," said the kindest swan. "You are welcome to join us."
Clinical notes, date of examination, October 13th, 2025. Routine preventive care visit, no acute concerns or symptoms, has been feeling well, exercises regularly, mindful of eating healthy, well-appearing adult, and no apparent distress, normal eye contact, normal affect. Pharynx is clear, normal dentition, skin, no rash. Psychiatric, patient is alert, attentive, and oriented ×3, normal affect. Breasts plus breast tissue, no masses. Plus breast tissue, no masses.
When cis people talk about my pre-trans self, it's he, him, and my name. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio. A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. 1,000 times he hath borne me on his back, and now how abhorred in my imagination it is. When I talk about my pre-trans self, she is a young girl. And I killed her and dug her grave with my bare hands. And one day I will lay down with her again, and our bones will intertwine. I casca bamanian with her. Sometimes I go down to the basement and lean against the last couple bricks missing from the wall. And we share a drink. It's quiet down there. And she's safe. And the wine is very sweet. But I am not beautiful like you, said the poor duckling. I'm just an ugly duckling. The swan nodded gently. You may think that now, but beauty is not just about looks. It's about being brave and true. With new hope and happiness, the duckling swam with his new friends. And one morning, the duckling looked into the lake and gasped. Beautiful creature stared back at him. His dull gray feathers were gone. He now had bright white feathers and a long neck and generous eyes. He had become a swan, just like his new friend. Here's what they don't tell you. Icarus laughed as he fell, threw his arms open, and yelled into the winds. Teeth bared to the world. There's a bitter triumph in crashing when you should be soaring. The wax scorched his skin, ran blazing trails down his back, his thighs, his ankles, his feet. Feathers floated like prayers past his fingertips, close enough that he could grab them back. Death breathed burning kisses across his shoulders, where the harness joined the wings. Where the wings joined the harness and the sun painted everything in shades of gold. There's a certain beauty in setting the world on fire and watching from the center of the flames.
Mm-hmm.